YouTube, it's Rico, man. I'm back with another video, man. Y'all see what we got going on. We got Hellbanianz, King of UK. You already know the drug name. We ain't gonna say all that just because I don't know how YouTube is with that. But anyways, I probably will end up saying it sometime later on through the video and forget all about it, but it is what it is. But anyway, y'all know what time it is, man. If you're brand new to the channel, you've been watching videos on the channel but not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button now. You don't want to miss out on new uploads and bangers. And you also want to help us out on the 5K grind. You don't want to miss out on that either as well. And make sure y'all smashing that like button and commenting on the video to help the video get recommended to a large audience of people, hopefully bringing new support to the channel as well. And don't forget to turn on post notifications, even though I probably just said that. But anyway, that way you don't miss out on new uploads. So make sure you check our channel out every day before y'all go to bed or when y'all wake up in the morning so you don't miss out on those. And follow my IG at LMERico. With all that being said, man, let's start the screen record. That starting video now.
What's up guys, it's Kid Nerd here back with another video, and today we're talking about the Hellbanianz and how they took over the coke game in London. But before I get into all this, I'm actually doing a giveaway. I'm giving away a £50 Amazon gift card, and all you have to do is request to follow my Insta, and I'll be picking a random requester in my next video. My Insta is on the screen now, and all you have to do is follow that for your chance to win a £50 gift card. Also, before I get into the video, shout out Mateo B for sending over these crazy beats for my videos. He's absolutely killing the game right now with the beats, so everyone go show him love on the gram. Anyway, let's get into the video. So the UK actually consumes the most cocaine in the whole of Europe. In fact, they consume...
Why they show my mans go crazy like that? What the fuck?
So the UK actually consumes the most cocaine in the whole of Europe. In fact, they consume the second most in the world, just behind America. 1 in 5 16 to 24-year-olds have actually taken cocaine in the last year in the UK. So as you can guess, there's a lot of money to be made in the coke.
Yeah, either way, it don't matter if I say coke now, because you done heard that shit about 4-5 times already, so it is what it is, man. Let's continue on though.
Game. £5 billion a year to be exact. And at the moment, Albanians are completely controlling the coke game in the UK. And the way they've done it is very smart. So Albanians first started to come into the UK in the late 90s. This was during the Kosovo War. Kosovans were able to seek asylum in the UK to flee the war, which actually resulted in hella Albanians saying, yeah, I'm Kosovan, allowing them to move to the UK. And naturally, just like any other nationality which has passed through the UK, some were looking to make big money in the new country. The eyes were first set on the sex trade. Now, Soho is the centre of the London sex trade, and the Maltese mafia have been running the sex work brothels for a long time. The Albanians started to be security for these Maltese ran brothels, but just like what Albanians have done for everything else, they soon took over, simply by just using...
And I'm hearing too, the shit, not only do they run the drug game, but they also pretty much run the streets heavy because of the simple fact they pretty much a mafia at the end of the day. So if you beef with them, you just pretty much sign your own death certificate and shit, man. Because now you got all these different hundreds, probably close to thousands of people. I wouldn't even say thousands, I'll say hundreds just to be more realistic. You got all these different people possibly coming after you and shit like that. So you, and too, on top of that, you ain't even gonna suspect some of these guys, because some of them don't even be dressing like how the current generation dresses all the time. Like, they sometimes just dress regular as fuck. They could look like a regular average civilian and shit. So you pretty much playing with your life at the end of the day, trying to beef with them. And on top of that, they got so much fucking money, you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere overseas to get away from them, period. If they find out where you at, they coming for you, simple as that. So you pretty much gonna have to get lucky, change your identity, something, because yeah, that's a lot of problems right there that you pretty much taking a risk in. But other than that, let's continue on.
Violence, forcing the brothel owners to sell their businesses over to them. I know some people say violence isn't the answer, but Albanians have shown us it kinda is. So now they took over the brothels, they needed workers. So these guys will go over to small villages in Moldova and promise girls of opportunities of being a model, but instead send them into the UK and trap them in brothels, which is quite sickening, but this is the reality of UK run brothels. If you've been to a UK run brothel, there's a high chance that they're probably forced to be there, whether their bosses will put them in debt, or they could literally just be forced to do it. Early Albanians also used to take the heads of parking meters and take all the coins left in there, which actually bagged them a lot of money. And when thinking about it, it's kind of crazy that people want to exploit.
Damn, so they just doing all types of illegal, crazy shit that you possibly wouldn't even think of somebody doing. Like, I ain't never heard somebody going to take parking meters things off just to get the money that's on the inside of them. Like, that's crazy. I mean, if I did, it was probably a long ass time ago, and that's how rare it is over here in the U.S. But y'all already know how it is with the laws and shit. But they doing it with no problem, and either way, you can tell that they don't really give a fuck about laws and law enforcement and shit like that, because they pretty much running by their own rules and shit and doing their own thing, no matter who likes it or not. They pretty much that group that's pretty much don't give a fuck who likes them and who don't like them, because at the end of the day, they got so much power, money and shit to do certain things to pretty much keep them at the top of everybody. That's pretty much how it is. But let's continue on.
That beforehand. They even fought against Jamaican and Chinese marijuana gangs and managed to take over some of that market in the early 2000s. Then their eyes set on cocaine. Now previously, how the cocaine market used to work
My
in the
man
UK
is funny
was that
with these
international
little video
importers worked
clips.
separately to the wholesalers and the street dealers. Also, the price of cocaine would vary on how pure it was. If it was more pure, it would cost more pretty much. The Albanians literally just ditched that whole way of working and started to work directly with Colombian cartels who produced the cocaine. They would then import it into the UK and keep the cocaine in-house to their own gangs. So the Albanians were bringing in cocaine for around £4,000 to £5,000 a kilo, while other people were buying it off Dutch wholesalers for around £22,000 a kilo, while also increasing its purity. So the Albanians cut the price of cocaine massively, while also increasing its purity. Their first problem though was smuggling it into the UK. Now the Italian mafia controls some of Europe's largest ports, and luckily Albanians had a good relationship with Italians, with some of them being hitmen for Italian mafias. And Italy actually even used to control Albania at one.
But I tell you, man, you don't want to really fuck with these people unless you for sure know you got some type of alliances behind you that's really about that and could keep you afloat, but it's rare. So, hey man, like I said, taking a huge risk beefing with any of them, because at the end of the day, you ain't knowing who coming for you.
Time. So the Italian and Albanian mafias started to build a tight alliance, and together they would smuggle cocaine through Colombia to Rotterdam in the Netherlands and Antwerp in Belgium, which would then route into Essex or Hull in the UK. They could do this because they have a lot of port workers on their payroll who would turn a blind eye to suspicious shipments. But this practice is very tricky, and there's seen quite a few people in jail, like Clodgen Klopper, who ran a £60 million cocaine import syndicate. He was jailed in 2017 after his courier was intercepted in Kent, which just goes to show how risky it is importing this in. But one thing Albanians have been very good at is their relationship building. So far, they've managed to avoid any big tit-for-tat wars against any other gangs. Maybe because they're so nice or polite, or maybe it's because everyone is just scared of them. I'd probably go.
I often say shit, like I said earlier, beefing with them, you be ready to handle those consequences, because it's a lot of them. So, at the end of the day, do you really want to beef with them and fuck up your life and other shit you possibly got going on? I don't think so. And on top of that, do you have the funds to keep the shit going? Probably not. These motherfuckers got money to keep whatever beef they in going as long as they wanted to keep it going. Or otherwise, they could just literally run right over you.
With the latter, but it's been key for their survival in the game, which has allowed Albanians to build alliances with all gangs over the UK who sell their products on their streets. Literally, the only area in the UK which isn't dealing Albanian coke is Liverpool in the north of England, which is actually one of the biggest markets for cocaine consumption. But the criminal gangs in Liverpool have a lot of resilience to outsiders. They've managed to keep Albanians out of the city's drug trade, with the Albanian mafia pretty much saying it's more trouble than it's worth. But I don't think they're losing much sleep over this, with them controlling pretty much everywhere else in the UK. And they probably aren't going anywhere anytime soon, with a very sophisticated and professional and royal way of working, which has much to do with the Albanian code of Besa. This means to keep a promise, and the Albanian mafia take this very serious, and it will be very rare for a member to sell out his own gang. Then came the younger generation.
And if you think about it, look at the amount of money they always pulling. So imagine if they were to take over these other places that they ain't taking over right now. Imagine how much even more money they will fucking pull in. That's crazy.
generation of these Albanians. I'm talking the Hellbanians, who began the trend of making flashy videos and waving money around. They control a block in East London called Gascoigne Estate. You might have seen them in a couple music videos like Hood Life, which is on around 15 million views right now. These guys are pretty much the retail game of the Albanian mafia. The mafia imports the drugs and sells it to Hellbanians for cheap, which allows them to control the London street game of cocaine. But their flashy and loud style has put more light on their activities than they were like. In cases like Tristan Assadani, who was found with a suitcase of cocaine and a machine pistol after a high-speed chase, has put the gang under some serious obble. But they searched his property after and found £6 million worth of drugs. Now, I'm no drug supplier, but I'm pretty sure having £6 million of drugs in one place has to be a bit silly. Stuff like this makes it understandable why Albanians are the second biggest foreign nationality in the UK prisons. And the Albanian mafia actually doesn't like this type of stuff. Firstly, it goes against Albanian culture with their flashiness and disses to police, and it just makes their whole operation more hot. Also, in 2019, some of their main gang members were caught raiding a rival drug factory with a gun and machetes and started raiding the crop house. One of these being Azan Didici, who you might have seen on Insta driving a gold Mercedes with the number plate Hellboys. He actually nearly got away. The police tasered him, but he managed to pull out the wires and run, but obviously got caught after. Others were also there, but they actually managed to flee. The Hellbanians gained intelligence beforehand that the factory was full of crops, which would have been worth thousands. They cut down the cannabis crops and put them in black bin bags, but didn't manage to flee off with it after. And this is something a lot of gangs in the UK do. They'll normally get a tip-off that someone's growing cannabis at an address. Then they'll raid the factory, normally at night, and cut the cannabis and pretty much sell it off for free profit. In the UK, most of these cannabis farms are run by Chinese gangs, and it's literally like taking candy from a baby. Like, there's not really much these farmers could do apart from accept that they're being jacked. A famous example of this was Morrison's brother, called Stephen Morrison. He and others were caught raiding a cannabis farm worth £2.5 million, which left one of their workers dead. That $2.5 million worth of cannabis, that is a lot. And I really hope that isn't all Stardog as well. Because guys, in all seriousness, we need to start pushing the petition to stop growing Stardog. So I want everyone to drop a hashtag #StopStardog2021 and eventually stop the killing of my people as well. And Hellbanians aren't the only Albanian street gang in London. There are other gangs like OTR in South East London and a few more throughout the city. Two separate other Albanian gang members were actually involved in the largest cash robbery in UK history. It was the 22nd of February 2006 and 6 armed men robbed.
See, that's what I'm talking about. You can see these guys and they could literally probably look like an average civilian. So if you beef with them, you don't know who coming at you. You don't know, all right, I could tell there's probably a person right here that's probably in the gang and shit because of how he dressed and stuff like that. Like, some of them just dress average as fuck. They ain't gotta be all flashy with their clothing and shit. At the end of the day, taking care of business is taking care of business. It don't matter how you dress, etc., etc. So at the end of the day, if you don't know what your ops look like, or if you beefing with these guys and you don't know necessarily what all of them look like, you just put yourself in a hole. They got the jump on you without really even doing anything. Just because of the simple fact, all these different types of people that they got, and majority of them sometimes be dressing regular as fuck. So at the end of the day, yeah, you gonna fuck around and live with paranoia and some more shit. Simple.
Of the security depot in Kent and stole over £53 million, which is even crazier because there was over 100 million more to steal and they couldn't even hold all the money in. Other Albanian gangs are also involved in arms distribution and contract killings, where they charge anywhere in the region of £15,000 to £100,000. Now, as I said before, Albanians have drawn a lot of attention towards themselves. These guys are literally posting themselves with machine guns and cocaine and are rolling around in Lambos and Rolls Royces. This is because they want to encourage more Albanians to move to the UK and join them. By posting about this so-called lavish lifestyle they live, more and more people want to get involved. And this isn't really that hard to do because a lot of areas in Albania are very poor. Youth unemployment is very high in the country, so it's understandable why a lot of youth want to be involved so badly. In 2010, Albanians actually won the right to travel through certain countries in Europe without a visa. These are called Schengen areas, and it allows Albanians to travel to the Netherlands, where the Albanian and Italian mafia control illegal activities in the port. So from the Netherlands, Albanian gangs will then smuggle Albanians to the UK, which does give a reason to their flashy lifestyle. But guys, don't be fooled by what you see from these rappers. Trapping is not glamorous at all. There's nothing flashy about sleeping in dirty bandos and nitties and stuffing crack up your bum while running from the police to dodge a PX charge. And quite a lot of this Hellbanian...
Yeah, see, and that's why trapping or street life in general ain't for everybody, because some people don't want to end up having to run away from the police but gotta shove something up they ass and all type of weird shit, because at the end of the day, you get caught with certain drugs, you already know you finna do time, so you gonna do whatever you can to get away from the police and trying to hide stuff that could potentially get you locked up for a very long time. It is what it is, man. Don't nobody want to go to jail. Don't nobody want to go to prison. So you're gonna do anything and everything that you can to try to hide the drugs that you possibly might get caught with. Simple as that. It ain't no other way around it. It's either you just go ahead and take them charges and go to jail, or you try your hardest to get away and keep your freedom, but just know you're gonna have to do a lot of running. Simple as that. Other than that, if police get your identity, you pretty much fucked. So if they got your identity, you're gonna have to definitely pretty much relocate and stay out the way. Simple as that. Pretty much meaning you probably gonna have to go to another country. So that's another factor right there that you could potentially have to do if you in the streets or doing trapping and shit. So just remember that. Simple as that.
Is doing quite hefty jail sentences right now. Like Tristan Saloni, who I mentioned earlier, he's doing 25 years. Like, I don't think people really deep how long 25 years is. That's really 1/3 of your life stuck in a box. I'd say fair enough, if there's no consequences, then go make your quick money. But there are consequences, so just be smart about what you do. One of the biggest mistakes you could do is be fooled by someone's flexing. From time I'm seeing people spend their last £1,000 on designer clothes, I just knew the world was lost. I'm talking about the real Instagram drip or drowners. You seem to own every named brand, but start to scratch their head when their mum can't pay the rent. Obviously, gangs like Hellbanians do make a lot of money. I'm not disputing that at all, but the money they make is incomparable to the heads of mafias and the importers. But you'll rarely catch a mafia boss in a pair of Dior's. Obviously, it's everyone's choice what they want to do with their money, but I just feel like social media and personalities have just made silly expectations for people. That you need to have a foreign car at this age, or that you need to own a Rolex just to show that you're really making money. Like, everyone, please just do your own thing. Wear what you want to wear, drive what you want to drive. No one's watching you like that. Everyone's just busy in their own mind. Anyway, guys, I think that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed, as always, drop a like.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much the end of this video, man. Yeah, they definitely got a lot of power over there, man. Simple as that. A lot of people been talking about them too, as far as what they capable of and stuff like that. So you pretty much know they're pretty much a group that you just don't want to cross at all, unless you one of them. Simple. So it is what it is, man. But that's pretty much the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video and my reaction to it, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Don't forget to tell your family and friends about our channel as well. Hopefully they become supporters of the channel. And make sure you guys are smashing that like button and commenting on the video to help the video get recommended to a larger audience of people. Hopefully bringing new supporters to the channel as well. And also, make sure you guys turn on post notifications. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So check our channel every day before y'all go to bed or when y'all wake up in the morning, so you don't miss out on those uploads. And follow my IG at LMERico. Other than that, man, I'm gonna catch y'all later on with more videos. Peace.